Tell me something silly. Go ahead and lie to me before it's over. Lie to me. I got all day.
I was ashamed when I realized that life was a costume party, and I attended with my real face.
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No.
Less than a minute now.
Tool time for 200.
This term for a long-handled gardening tool can also mean an immoral pleasure seeker. Ken?
What's a hoe?
No.
She has a very long back.
Taylor Swift.
Hey, throw that motherfucker. Throw that motherfucker. Hey, throw that motherfucker. Throw that motherfucker. Throw that motherfucker.
Hey guys, this is my girlfriend Becca. She has cancer, but I love her. Ugh! You can't find no black bitch with cancer? Girl, I know, right? With his weak ass.
I'm not sorry for what I'm about to do.
What are you doing?
Damn garbage.
Garbitch.
What's going on, everybody? It's Monk Dan, back with another stream. I'm really thankful to be here. Man, if you are new to the channel, I thank you for being here. I ask that you hit the like button, send me some comments, subscribe, baby. What I like to do on my channel is seek and share wisdom through philosophy. That's my thing. I love philosophy and I just want to seek and share wisdom. Yo, once again, I am thankful to be here, man. Why? YouTube kind of discouraged me, man. YouTube really discouraged me, man. Why do I say that? So I had posted a stream of Tina Horn. I'm reading Tina Horn's book. The chapter that I covered was spanking, and YouTube totally trashed the entire stream. They said that it was nudity, blah, blah, blah. There was no nudity. Pretty much what I do on my channel is, like I said, I seek and share wisdom through philosophy. So I'm doing a lot of talking, and yeah, they didn't like the conversation. They said it was just, I guess, too much for them. So it kind of discouraged me, but like I said, I'm glad to be here. All right. Today we are going to talk about chapter 5 of Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil. We're going to talk about chapter 5. I'm going to cover at least 3 points from this book that I wanted to discuss. And let's get into it. Let's not even waste no time, any time rather. Chapter 5. All right. Before I get into my thoughts on the chapter, I want to start off with one point of being positive, pointing out something positive of the chapter. I thought that would be very pivotal, very nice of me to start off with something positive. And the positivity that I received or read or gathered from this book and this chapter, is about failure. And this is kind of part number 1. So I'll read the quote. And again, Napoleon Hill is, let me use my air quotes, talking to the devil in this book. And I'll give you my thoughts on that. But he's talking to the devil, and these 2 quotes I really wanted to express to you guys. And this is the devil speaking, by the way. This is not This is not Napoleon who's given the quote. Crazy, right? But here is he's talking about failure. And the first quote is the devil says, every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent success. Wow. I'll read that the small paragraph. It's just 2 sentences, actually just one full sentence. He says, the life of every successful person loudly acclaims that which every true philosopher knows, every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent success. Wow. I have to think about that one, man. An equivalent success. Wow. And then another part that I wanted to highlight, again, this is the devil speaking. And the quote says, failure is a virtue only when it does not lead one to quit trying and begin drifting. Wow. Again, the devil says this now. Failure is a virtue only when it does not lead one to quit trying and begin drifting. I wanted to highlight that first, man, because that is a very positive thing that the devil spoke of, if you will. And I am going to utilize that in my life, and maybe you could use that in your life. I think that's very, very critical, if you will, especially in our time of economy and economic times. It's just, yeah. And I'm going to really use that one. I used it so much, I put it in my one of my streams, on my Instagram, on one of my reels, both of these quotes. And I really wanted to express that on this channel. All right. Point number 2, man. Let's get into point number 2. There was another portion on here that he talked about in terms of man and woman. And what he was describing is let me get the correct quote here. I don't want to misquote it. But he's talking about, how can I say this? Let me just read where it is. I have it here. I'll start it here. So the devil and Napoleon Hill are talking, and so Napoleon Hill is asking questions, but they get on the subject of flattery and how the devil, for lack of better words, he gets people to drift, if you will, just to keep it short and simple. So I'll just read the paragraph, and then I'll read both of the paragraphs. So I'll read. Actually, let me start with what Napoleon said, and then we'll get into it to give a little bit more context. So Napoleon Hill says, that is a startling admission. Go ahead with your confession and stick strictly to this subject of flattery. So they're talking about flattery. No more side remarks and no more, I cannot pronounce that word, please forgive me, for the present. Tell me all about your use of flattery in gaining control over people. So this is the nature of the conversation. So he's talking about flattery and gaining control over people. And so here's the devil. The devil says flattery is a bait of incomparable value to all who wish to gain control over others. It has powerful pulling qualities because it operates through 2 of the most common human weaknesses. Here are the two, this is what the devil says, the 2 most common human weaknesses: vanity and egotism. There is a certain amount of vanity and egotism in everyone. In some people, these qualities are so pronounced, they literally serve as a rope by which one may be bound. The best of all ropes is flattery. And the devil continues and says, flattery is the chief bait through which men seduce women. Sometimes, in fact, frequently, Women use the same bait to gain control of men, especially men who cannot be mastered through sex appeal. I'll read that one more again. Flattery is the chief bait through which men seduce women. Sometimes, in fact, frequently, women use the same bait to gain control of men, especially men who cannot be mastered through sex appeal. Wow. And he says, I teach its use to both men and women. Flattery is the chief bait with which my agents weave their way into the confidence of people from whom they procure information needed to carry on warfare. Wow. And they're going to go a little bit more into it. I'm not going to go too far into it, but here's an example of how he says, and he's talking about women this time. This is the devil. The devil says their vanity. Tell a woman she is pretty or that she wears clothes well. And then he gives an example about egotism. He says egotism with a capital E. Tell a man he has a strong Herculean body or that he is a great business tycoon, and he will purr like a cat and smile like an old possum. Wow. The two of the most common human weaknesses, vanity and egotism. Wow. I have a video that I want to show you guys that illustrates this point. And I hope YouTube is not sensitive, and I hope you guys can see it because it is from the way that it's formatted. I really tried to make it bigger. Oh, here it is. I can make it bigger. All right, let's get to here. And I am going to switch my screen so that you guys can see what I am talking about. All right, so this is a clip from the show 227. I was a young guy, a kid, and so I don't remember everything about 227. I really don't even remember 227, to be honest with you. But I know some of the actors in this show. Not personally, I just know. I've seen the faces. I know them. I've seen them in movies and so on and so forth. So here's a clip of what they're talking about, what the devil is talking about, vanity and egotism. I thought this was a perfect example. Here we go.
I'm sorry, why don't you check back in a few months?
Oh.
I'm sorry, why don't you check back in a few months?
Okay, thanks very much. Hi, Brenda! Hi, Miss Clark. I didn't think you'd ever eat in a place like this.
Well, when I'm paying for it myself, I do. Want to share a chili burger with me?
No, I just came in to apply for a job.
Did you get it?
No, Mr. Billy Bob over there said nothing was open.
That's Billy Bob?
Uh-huh.
You really want this job?
Yeah, but...
Just hold tight, Brenda.
Well, he already checked my qualifications.
But he hasn't checked mine.
Here we go. He hasn't checked mine. Here we go.
Hi, can you help me?
Sure, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for the owner of this establishment. Billy Bob?
I'm Billy Bob.
Young, handsome man like you?
Young, handsome man like you? The Herculean body? Come on, here we go.
You playing games with me?
No, this is my place. Can I help you?
Oh, yes. Eunice Crawford told me to look you up. You remember Eunice?
I don't think I do.
Oh, she's a beautiful girl, but you must go with so many beautiful girls you can't keep track.
Well.
Ego. Stroke his ego easily. She came up with a fake name. You don't remember so-and-so? And then she was like, well, you got a whole roster. You wouldn't remember. And look at him. He all giddy. Look at his face. He all get out of here, man. Stroked his ego.
Well, anyway, Eunice said, if anybody could tell me which was the best French restaurant in town, you could. She says you're quite a connoisseur.
Yeah. I have been told that. French restaurants. Well, I'd say Le Montmartre is the best.
Oh, thank you. I must try it, but I just hate to eat in a place like that alone.
Oh, then perhaps, you'd allow me to take you.
Ooh, there's nothing bashful about you. Oh, no, this is so sudden, but okay.
Good.
No, but there's just one other little thing.
Here we go. Here's the bait and switch right here. She baited his ass in. Look at him. He all gone. He all over head over heels, as they say. He gone. And now she fits the bait and switch his ass. Switch the game up.
You see that young, sweet-looking girl over there? She's a real good friend, and she likes so much to work here.
Oh, yes, I just spoke with her. I told her we're not hiring.
Oh, that's so disappointing. I may have just lost my appetite for French food.
Well, maybe we could talk about it over dinner.
If we talk about it right now, we can discuss other things over dinner.
Wow. That's what I wanted to show you guys there, man. I'm gonna only play it once, man, because I'm not sure how YouTube will respond to the clip. I have no idea. YouTube. But that's an example, man, of how the devil was talking about vanity and ego and how women use ego and men. It's kind of like a versatile type thing. It's not just men have an ego, women have an ego as well. So she used her vanity to get what she want. I mean, it's a human weakness, man. It is a human weakness. Wow. All right, here we go. All right, so let me keep it moving here. Now, finally, I wanted to talk about the chapter in itself. This is where I'm kind of confused, and I have my thoughts about this chapter, and it's just the whole idea. And this is part number 3. The whole idea of outwitting the devil, that doesn't sit well with me in terms of here's the question: how can something mortal outwit something immortal, if you will? How can that be? And so that, I mean, it just sounds ridiculous that this is the nature of the context, if you will, or the text. Because I'm like, it just makes no sense. And even in the beginning, you know, when old buddy Napoleon Hill is talking to the devil, I mean, it's just, he's asking the devil repetitive questions. And it's like, it was all so fucking annoying. Like, so the devil was asking about flattery. Wait, hold on. Yeah, that too. There was a part. Like the devil was like, why do you tantalize me by repeating the question? And it's just repetitive. It's just like, what the fuck are we doing, Napoleon Hill? But here's the deal, man. So the Napoleon is trying to, I guess, he's trying to understand, you know, how does a person drift, if you will? What are the characteristics? How does the devil get these people to drift, if you will? And so he's asking all these questions, like how the devil gave the example of flattery. He uses these people for those instances, for those circumstances, if you will. And also, the devil also, he's revealing, that's why the chapter is called the confession continues. So the devil is confessing how he, what's the word? Give people the drift. That's the best way I can look at it. And so he's given some examples. And I wanted to read these few examples here, which I just didn't get. Because, and I even wrote some things here. And so now Napoleon Hill ask the devil about another tactic that he uses, another trick, if you will. And the devil, Napoleon says, what do you use as a bribe? And here are some things that he was talking about with bribery. And so the devil says, I use many things, all of them pleasant things the individual covets. I use the same sort of bribes that individuals use when they bribe one another. Excuse me, that is, I use for bribes the things people most want. My best bribes are these. Here are the bribes that the devil uses. Love. The thirst for sex expression. Covetousness for money. The obsessive desire to gain something for nothing. Gambling. Vanity in women. Egotism in men. Desire to be the master of others. Desire for intoxicants and narcotics. Desire for self-expression through words and deeds. Desire to imitate others. Desire for perpetuation of life after death. Desire to be a hero or a heroine, I believe that's how you pronounce that. Desire for physical food. And I believe that was that. And then Napoleon says that is an imposing list of bribes. Then he says, yes, your majesty, do you use others? The devil says he has more, blah, blah, blah. But that list right here is an example of what I'm trying to understand. These are all human. These are all things of human nature. So I'm very confused. If someone is consumed or uses, the devil is bribing, quote unquote, bribing people by using them with love. Human nature desires these things. Are they drifting? The thirst for sex expression, is that drifting? Example, when I talked about this here, when I talked about the chapter of spanking by Tina Horn in this book, Why Are People Into That? A Cultural Investigation of Kink. Am I drifting? Was I drifting? Because I have a desire, I have a thirst for sex expression. I want to express this. But am I drifting? I'm confused. Like, what the fuck, man? All of these are human desires. The obsession, desire to gain something for nothing. And he uses the example of gambling. We see sports betting all across the sports now. So is that drifting? Because you have successful business owners who have casinos. We have people that's in gambling who have all of these sorts of avenues, like, but these are successful people. How can they be drifting? Like, I'm confused. Like, what the fuck are you trying to say, Napoleon Hill? Vanity in women, egotism in men. We just covered that as an example. And let me go back to it, man. He said, these are the two most common human weaknesses. This is a human weakness. It's going nowhere. It's going nowhere. To some degree, we all have different degrees to vanity and egotism. We all have it. The example I gave in 227 with the video, you had that guy who owned a, whatever it was, a burger joint, burger shop, whatever it was, a restaurant, whatever the case may be. Was he drifting? He's a successful businessman. So this conversation of drifting, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like there's no clear definition. Because if you're using human weaknesses, or if you will, human nature, then we're all drifting. I made a note here. I said we can all conclude all humans have and will succumb to this nature. What did I write? To this nature. Can I conclude all humans are as drifters? That's what I was like. Can we conclude that? Desire to be the master of others. Hell, we see these businesses, big businesses doing this. They are the master of employees. Like, I'm confused. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? If they're drifting, well, they fucking successful. When I was reading this, I was like, shit, I would rather be in their shoes than mine. Right now, as of right now, I am furloughed. Meanwhile, the business or the company that I work for, they're getting wealthier. I would rather be them than not make no money. Desire for intoxicants and narcotics. Okay, you have a point there. I'll give you that one. But hell, are they drifting? Because we have a lot of successful people. I'm not naming names, I'm just going to say leaders of our country who are doing intoxicants and narcotics, man. We have a country who legalizes certain narcotics, intoxicants. Are they drifting? Like, come on, man. He says the desire for self-expression through words and deeds. Who doesn't want to have self-expression through words and deeds? Hell, I'm literally giving self-expression right now through my words. Desire to imitate others. Hell, shit. Come on, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. They were imitating Jordan. They're successful. Were they drifting? Desire for perpetuation of life after death. I'm not sure what that means. Let me relook up what perpetuation means right fast. Bear with me. Definition. Come on, goodness.
Perpetuation.
Perpetuation means the continuation or preservation of a situation, idea. That doesn't really help me. That doesn't really give a good fucking... They don't give me any synonyms or anything. God damn, man. Fucking internet, computer. To cause something to continue. So I don't understand the desire for something continue of life after death. How is that? Because you have religious people who say life after death. They're thinking about continuation of life after death, eternity and all of that. So what the fuck are they? What the fuck, man? The desire to be a hero or heroine, I believe that's how you pronounce that word, or heroine. Whatever. Shit, like, come on, man. Desire for physical food? Really? Come on, man. I'm human, bro. You want to eat. You have a desire for food, bro. Come on. What the fuck are we doing, man? Like, this type of shit. Like, this is what I was dealing with reading this shit. This is some goofy ass shit, man. Like, I don't like this book, man. This book was recommended to read, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Here's another one. Here's another one. I'll just read what Napoleon Hill. I got 30 minutes in, so we'll do like maybe 10 more minutes, and then we'll end it up. Napoleon says, from all you say, I infer that you cannot induce a non-drifter to help you gain control of his mind by baiting him with your bribes. Is that correct? The devil says that is exactly correct. I can and I do interest none drifters in my bribes, because I use for the purpose of bribery the things all people naturally desire. These are natural desires. But the non-drifter resembles a fish that steals the bait from the hook, but refuses to take the hook. The non-drifter takes from life whatever he wants, but he takes it on his own terms. The drifter takes whatever he can get, but he takes what he gets on my terms. Stating the matter in another way, the non-drifter borrows money from a legitimate banker. If he wants it, he pays a legitimate rate of interest. The drifter goes to the pawn shop, hawks his watch, and pays a suicidal rate of interest for his loan. Like stuff like that. Like I don't know. I don't know if it was because Napoleon Hill wrote this in a certain time period, but I'm like, so a person that says, hey, I got a nice loan. How about this? They said, oh, I got a nice loan. I go the housing market. Someone goes and say, hey, I got a nice loan for a house, and they pay this, and they spend their entire life paying off this. It's a legitimate banker. They got a legitimate loan. And then he says a legitimate rate of interest. Okay, you got it at when the market was good for you. Are you a non-drifter? Like that qualifies you as a non-drifter? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. We know if you didn't know, look up the word what mortgage means. To death. You're a non-drifter? Like, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Then he says he uses the drifter as someone who's hawking going to a pawn shop, and, you know, they get used and abused by the payday loans as an example. Okay. How about this? The person who got the better legitimate loan, they were groomed, or they had the knowledge from certain resources to make better or have these better opportunities. Like, I mean, what the fuck is Napoleon Hill doing, man? This is some weird shit, dog. It's some fucking weird shit, man. I mean, it goes on and on like this. I'll read the rest of this. Let's see. I got 32 minutes in. So Napoleon Hill says, so I draw from your claims the conclusion that your hand is mixed up somehow in all of the people's troubles and miseries, even though your presence may not be visible. The devil says, my unwilling workers are often my best workers. You see, my unwilling workers are those whom I cannot control with some combination of bribes, people whom I have to master by fear or through some form of misfortune. They do not wish to serve me, but they cannot avoid it because they are eternally bound to me by the habit of drifting. So we're all drifters. We're all drifters. So you have someone who's saying, yo, I don't want to be a drifter. You have a person that says, no, I don't want to be a drifter. I'm going to do things my way, because that's how he said it. He says they can take the bait off the hook without getting caught by the hook, if you will. So these people, they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're not drifting. But he says these are the people. How he says, you see, my unwilling workers are those whom I cannot control with some combination of bribes, people whom I have to master by fear or through some form of misfortune. Oh, misfortune. Okay. So they're doing well, and then you got to get them at a misfortune. And then he says, they do not wish to serve me, but they cannot avoid it because they are eternally bound to me by the habit of drifting. So you have no choice. We're all drifters. We're all drifters. We're all drifters. Like, what the fuck, man? This is a terrible book, man. This is a fucking terrible book. I don't like it, man. I'm not a part of the group anymore. I don't have the money to be a part of the group that I was in. But I mean, guys that was in the group, they were like, no, this is a good book. And I'm like, I'm like, this is a terrible book, bro. Like, it's contradicting itself. So you're saying, first of all, I already told you my thoughts. Like, how can a mortal being outwit an immortal being? That doesn't make sense. That principle alone is just weird. Like, what the fuck? And then during these conversations he's having with the devil, and he's trying to trick the devil. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You're asking dumbass questions. The devil was annoyed in a sense, like, bro, why are you asking me the same question over and over and over? The devil was like, can we move on? And here's Napoleon Hill's response. Well, I'm trying to get you to answer in so many ways. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here, man. This is a shitty ass fucking book, bro. And then Napoleon Hill says, now I'm beginning to better understand your technique. You bribe your victims through their natural desires and lead them astray while you induce them to become drifters if they respond to your lure. If they refuse to respond, you plant the seed of fear in their minds or trap them through some form of misfortune and hogtie them while they are down. Is that your method? And the devil says that is exactly the way I work. Clever, don't you think? We're all drifters. We're all drifters, bro. By human desire, natural desires. We're all drifters. We're all drifters. By default. It's by default. In spite of you trying to be a non-drifter, you're going to be bound to your natural desires. You're done. You're cooked. Napoleon says, which do you prefer to serve as a propagandist, the young and the old? Then he says he likes to use the young. Oh boy. This is another thing, and I'm not going to read it all because I'm going to do like maybe 40 minutes, but I'm going to sum it up. But this is what this last part. Napoleon says, Your Majesty has given me a clear description of drifting. Tell me what must be done to ensure against the habit of drifting. I want a complete formula that anyone can use. So he gives a list. This is the devil giving a list of things that one can do to be a non-drifter. And then he gives 10 points. And then Napoleon Hill says that list looks imposing. Give me a simple formula combining all 10 points. If you had to combine all 10 points in one, what would it be? This is the sum of what the devil was trying to say. Be definite in everything you do and never leave unfinished thoughts in the mind. Form the habit of reaching definite decisions on all subjects. Sounds nice, right? So you are talking about a subject. Let's go back to the natural desires. So we all have these natural desires. Here's my point. We all have natural desires, and I'm not wavering, if you will, because this is just common sense. If we all have natural desires, whether you indulge in it a little, if you indulge in it a lot, you are indulging in that activity. And now here's an example that I wanted to give, and then I'll close it up on this. They're talking about sex now. This is the devil's response. The devil says, if the victim is a male, I can usually snare him through his sex appetite. Overindulgence in sex starts more men to drifting toward failure than all other causes combined. Using that as an example, natural desire, a man is going to have a sexual appetite. Now, he says the overindulgence in sex starts more men to drifting. Now, let's be honest. For myself, and I kind of hinted to this to the stream that YouTube decided to strip away from me. And I'll end it right here. I myself, I'm not a virgin. I have had sex before. I don't have a lot of means. I've lost all my leverage. I've been furloughed, so I have no leverage to stand on right now. So me having sex is non-existent as of now. Now take that versus a individual who has a lot of means of wealth and options. A wealthy person, a wealthy man. You can a famous CEO, tech owner, whatever you want to call it. This person has a lot of money, business, athlete, whatever the case may be, has a lot of money. They're going to have a lot of sex. Come on, y'all. This is not new. This is nothing to be shameful about. They have a lot of resources. They're going to have a lot of sex. You go back to even your religious days or your religious texts, those kings and all of those guys had a lot of means. They had a lot of sex. So is Napoleon Hill or the devil in this context, are they saying that those guys are drifters? These are successful. Hell, you have presidents, man. Have any pick of the litter. They're having amazing sex. They're having so much sex, so much experience. Are they drifting? I want to get rid of this book, man. I want to finish this book and just be done with this book, man. Because it means nothing, man. Like it's just ridiculous, bro. So you're a man that you're getting on your purpose. You become wealthy. Women are going to be drawn to you. You're going to have plenty of sex. You're going to have an abundance of sex. I know an individual, I don't know him personally, but the person that I follow is having an amazing amount of sex. He's traveling right now. He's overseas. I don't want to, put his business out there, but the person that I follow, he's overseas. He's in Asian countries. He's fucking. Is he drifting? The answer is no. He's successful. He's having an overindulgence. He's saying, yo, man, woo, 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 these lean-lings, man, woo. He's successful. So I'm confused by what the fuck Napoleon Hill is saying, dog. And if you're reading this and if you are listening to the stream, this is why I need your feedback, your comments, because I don't get it. Maybe it's something that I'm missing, but I'm not missing it. I cannot be missing this. We see presidents, politicians, athletes, business owners. We see this. Women are going to go to them. They're going to have so much amounts of sex. I was trying to say that in my last stream that they took down. I'm like, bro, they're having these experiences. I'm broke. I'm not having these experiences. So am I drifting or are they drifting? All right, man, let me get out of here, man. I really appreciate you if you are checking out the stream. I really appreciate it. I really, 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 really do appreciate you checking out this stream. Please hit the like button for me. Please, please. Can you send me some comments? Yo, Monk, I appreciate the stream. Or Monk, man, you're wrong. Something. Just give me something, man. That's crazy that no one is willing to watch this. I just don't believe that, man. And if you haven't subscribed, man, please subscribe, man. That's all I ask, man. Man, I really appreciate that if you do watch the stream, man. Let me get up out of here, man. This is the chapter 5, man. I just wanted to talk about that. I don't like this book, man. It started off at the beginning. I was like, oh, shit, okay, this might be all right. And then it just went to shit. It really went to shit. Yeah, I just want to get rid of this book, man. Yeah. All right, man. Let me get out of here. Once again, I really appreciate you. Please, 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 please like the stream. Hit the send me some comments and subscribe. All right. As always, peace. And be kind to yourself, man. Because this shit here is not gonna be kind to you. It's gonna neglect your human desires. The world is too as well. So anyway, peace.
Just let me eat you one term. You gonna sleep for 3 days, my baby. I'm gonna make you cry.
Are you gonna show us?
Ay, ay, ay! Thank you, bitch!